Hello, today we're going to talk about time. This might be a review for some of you, but we've all seen this hanging in our classroom. We have a clock here, and this is how we tell the time. Our long hand is for the minutes, our shorter hand is for the hour. So today we're going to talk about o'clock and half past the hour. Anytime your minute hand is directly on the 12, you'll see that it is exactly 2 o'clock. There are 60 minutes in an hour. So now it's 2:05. See, we have the 5 there. Goes all the way around for 60 minutes, and then boom, it is now 3 o'clock. Another 60 minutes, and we're at 4 o'clock. Another 60 minutes, and we're at 5 o'clock. Another 60 minutes, and at 6 o'clock. Okay? So let's say Robbie has band practice at, let's go back in time here. Robbie has band practice at 3 o'clock. And it gets over at 5 o'clock. 1 hour, 2 hours. So that means band practice was 2 hours. So this is you'll see that you'll have a worksheet, a follow-up worksheet that looks like this. And you see how we write O'' clock. So this one would be our hour hand is pointing to the 1, and our minute hand, you can see the minute hand is pointing to the 12 in all of these because that's the o'clock. So it is 1 o'clock. All right, so that will be your follow-up work for that page. And that's what we call this clock here is what we call an analog clock. All right. We have another kind of clock that's called a digital clock. You may have seen this. This is like usually what alarm clocks look like, or you'll see that there's always a digital clock on the phone, and it tells, the hour is here, and then the minutes. So it's 3:46 p.m. on Sunday. Here I am. But it looks like for your o'clock, you'll see 0, 0. So if it's 1 o'clock, we would just write a 1 here. It would be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Okay? So your follow-up work looks very similar. It's just a little bit of practice for you. You still have your analog clock here, and you're going to write the time digitally here. So we see 8 o'clock, we would write 8, 0, 0. To show 8 o'clock on our digital clock. Okay, so that is also part of your follow-up work. The other thing we're going to talk about is time to the half hour. And we call it a half hour if we look at our fractions. So here we have a whole cut into 2 pieces. And we can see this line going straight down. Cut in half. So here we see it's 5 o'clock. Okay. And our minute hand is going to go right here to show half past 5 o'clock. It's like that line cutting our clock down the middle. We see our O clock is at the 12. Half of 12 is 6. There's 60 minutes in an hour. So half of that is 30 minutes. So it is 5:30 or half past 5. And I just wanted to show you how it's related to our fraction circles. We call this is our halves family because our whole is cut into half. So here we see our hour hand is pointing in between the 10 and 11, so that means it's actually still on the 10 o'clock. It's not yet 11 o'clock. That hour hand will point to the 11 once, it'll be exactly on the 11 once that minute hand is back up to the 12. So our minute hand is pointing to the 6. You can imagine. Boop. Our clock is cut in half, so we say it is 10:30. So we would write a 10 here, 10:30. And that's what you're doing on your follow-up work. Hopefully it'll show up on the scan. You can see how half of the clock is colored in to show that to you. But we'll do the first one, 10:30. It's not yet pointing to the 11, so it's still within the 10 o'clock hour. Here we have 30:30. Our hour hand is pointing in between the 2 and 3, so it's 2:30. Still in the 2 o'clock hour. Because that minute hand is moving too, so I'll show that to you again. Go back up to 5 o'clock here. So as our minute hand goes around, you can see the hour hand is also moving. It's just moving slower. So when we get to 5:30, you can see that the hour hand is halfway between 5 and 6. It's not 6 o'clock yet until this minute hand goes all the way back up to 12. Now it is 6 o'clock. Now it is 6:30. Okay? So your follow-up work, that's all you've got to write in. 10:30, 2:30, 2:30, so on, so on. And then finally, we'll talk about time to the half hour on our digital clock. And that looks like this. We talked about how there's 60 minutes in an hour. Half of 60 is 30. So on our digital clocks, that's what it'll say. 5:30, 3:30, 2:30, 12:30. That represents our half past. So that's what you will write in here. You've got your analog clock showing 12:30. So you'll write 12:30, 12:30. Here we have 5:30, 5, those 2 dots, 30, 30. Okay? So some of you might find this really simple. You've maybe already done time with your parents, and that's awesome. Or an older sibling maybe have shown you. So it's okay to practice. Some of you, this is a new concept for. So reach out if you have questions, and have a great time with it.